Next up on my adventure is the village of Cadogan, some say Cadogan. I started the day walking across the Hyde Park walking bridge and visiting Leechburg Riverfront Park. Now I'm finishing up my road trip by visiting the former coal patch town of Cadogan. I am driving on Route 128 in central Armstrong County. Coal patch towns were company towns where the miners lived and worked. Workers and their families lived in wood frame homes, which were either single-family homes or duplexes. Coal patch towns dot the landscape of Pennsylvania. Coal patch towns consisted of the workers' residences, a community center, a company store, churches, and a school. Coal miners were paid in the currency called scrip. Miners and their families used scrip to pay for food, clothing, fuel, and other items. Cadogan sits along the banks of the Allegheny River. This coal patch town was operated by the Allegheny River Mining Company. Whenever I am researching coal patch towns, I always think of the song 16 Tons, performed by Tennessee Ernie Ford. And that song accurately describes life in the coal patch towns. Quote, 16 tons and what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. Quote, that's a verse from the song. I hope you enjoy this history lesson of the town of Cadogan. I'm at this little park in the coal patch town of Cadogan. It's a beautiful overlook of the Allegheny River. And I just come from Leechburg. I explored Hyde Park Bridge and Leechburg Riverfront Park, so be sure to check out that video. Give it a thumbs up and like. George Presco family. Yep, I was right. Cadogan, a coal mining town. The Cadogan mines were started in 1914 by the Allegheny River Mining Company, owned by the Pittsburgh and Shawmut Railroad. The town got its name from Sir Walter Cadogan, the nephew of Henry Morgan, the first chairman of the board of the Pittsburgh and Shawmut Railroad. Dwight Cadogan Morgan was president of the board of directors of the Allegheny River Mining Company. Cadogan survived the Great Depression of the 1920s and 30s by working at least 3 days per week and sending most of its coal to the Canadian Pacific Railroad. The coal was a hard bituminous, easier to dig than the much harder anthracite coal, but nearly as high in heating capability. It was preferred by railways due to its lower production cost. In 1955, about 3,000 tons of coal were produced daily, or more than 1 million tons per year. The mines were officially closed in 1975. All structures were removed in 1983, and the slag piles surrounding the town, which burned for years, were covered in dirt. So here's some old pictures. They had water tanks. Water was pumped from the river to these tanks. Coal mining was a very dangerous line of work. And the men who worked in the mines did it to earn a living. And if they didn't get hurt in the mines, they suffered later in life from black lung. And sometimes they didn't see the light of day for weeks, especially in the winter months. Because if they start at 6 a.m. and get off at 6 p.m., that's a 12-hour day, and it's already dark by the time you get off, so you're not seeing any daylight. Quote, in 1914, the first homes were constructed for mine management and laborers. Homes were rented to workers. In the early years, a 3-bedroom bungalow rented for $3.60 per month. That's not $3.60, but $3.60 per month, and that's as much as a candy bar and a soft drink today. A 5-bedroom house rented for $5.70 a month, and 7-room homes rented for $7.75 a month. As the town grew, it had its own church, a school, post office, company store, and the first talking picture movie theater in Armstrong County. In 1917, there were 3 churches built in town: Catholic, Protestant, and Episcopal. 2 churches remain today, and the Episcopal Church on Oak Avenue became a family residence. All homes were sold by the mining company in 1950 for $400, $900, and $1,200. And the photo to the left is Prospect Avenue, looking east with the company store at the right corner. And there's the theater. And that theater was built in 1918. And it was the first in Armstrong County to have talkie movies, which is sound. And it burnt in 1936 and was rebuilt and later converted to a grocery store. And that had a string of bad luck because it burnt in 1953. And it was rebuilt, and now it serves as the township hall. And this is dedicated to the veterans who served from the Cadogan area. Thank you, veterans. And this was the Cadogan school bell. It says 1917 to 1959, so that's when the school must have been in operation. So yeah, here's a look at the river below. I hope you enjoyed this brief history lesson. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and everybody have a great weekend. Thank you for watching.